All right. Hey, everyone. This is Miss Turk. So I'm here to talk you through the 3.5.3 test. Okay. For question one, part A, I would actually start with part three. Okay. So start by doing the orbital diagram or orbital configuration. Look at 3.1.1, page 11, and page 14. So I'm kind of getting you started here with it. So I put the sub-level in for each one. Okay. So you can copy that down, and then you're going to fill in the arrows, okay, for aluminum. And then once you have that, then you could look at 3.1.1, page 15 to write the electron configuration. So use your answer to part three to answer part one. Part two, you can omit. I don't think the book explained that part very well. And then part B, the book did not explain this very well. Just keep in mind that losing electrons make it positive, okay? So if it has a positive oxidation state, that means it tends to lose electrons. So with that in mind, read 3.3.3, page 15 to answer this question. And part C you can omit. And question 2A you can omit, and 2B you can omit. I don't think the book explained that trend very well. For part C, read the question. So just read this part to help you answer this part. And then for part D, okay, these are all metals, okay? And just remember, the most reactive metal is the one that's most likely to give up electrons, okay? These are all reactive, okay? They all react. But think about which one's the the most likely to give up electrons. That'll be the most reactive. The least likely of the three to give up electrons will be the least reactive. So read 3.1.3, page 14 and 22 to help you figure that out, okay? So you'll match the most reactive one with the most reactive, observation, and the least reactive one with the least reactive observation. For question 3, for part A, they want you to draw separate dot diagrams, okay? So they want you to draw a dot diagram for carbon, they want you to draw separate dot diagrams for 3 hydrogens, and they want you to draw a dot diagram for chlorine. They're not going to be connected. They want the separate ones. So you might need to refresh your understanding of valence electrons. That's back in Unit 2, 2.3.1, page 10. And then to learn about dot diagrams, look at 3.2.1, page 22. Then they want you to join all these together in one molecule. Carbon's going to be in the middle, okay? So to learn how to do that, read 3.2.1, page 24. For part C, 3.2.1, page 10. For part D, E, and E, you can omit. And then for part F, look at 3.3.1, page 7. And for part G, you can omit, okay? For question 4, okay, so think of it this way. These are your different compounds, okay? And these are the different shapes, okay? And I put the name next to each shape because I think it's kind of hard to tell for each of these, okay? Couple things to remember for the bent one. The reason it's bent is because there's lone pairs on the central atom, okay? And for trigonal pyramidal, the reason everything's kind of going down is because there's a lone pair on top of the central atom, okay? Whereas trigonal planar, it's flat. There's no lone pairs on the central atom. A couple of things. I think these it's pretty easy to draw a Lewis diagram for each of these and pair it up with one of these. The trickiest one is CS2. I'm going to draw the Lewis dot diagram for that for you because that one has double bonds. So it'll be C with 2 double bonds to the sulfurs, and then the sulfurs will have their own lone pairs, okay? So this one does not have any lone pairs on the central atom. It's C double bonded to S, double bonded to S, okay? That's not going to be true for SCl2, okay? SCl2 is going to have some lone pairs on the central atom. So think about which one that would be with lone pairs on the central atom. For question 5, couple of things. First, for the name, look at 3.3, first you should actually do ionic or covalent. Do that first, and then that can help you figure out the formula or the name. So for a refresher on that, look at 3.3.3, page 4, okay? For the name, read 3.3.3, pages 5 to 11 for naming, okay? Ionic things do not use prefixes in the name, covalent things do, and you'll read about that in that section. For the chemical formula, read 3.3.3, page 17, and you're going to need to click that little orange icon that says FYI. It's like a lowercase I, and it says FYI underneath. You're going to need to click that to help you write the formula for those two. All right, so hopefully that is helpful. That is the even year 3.5.3 test.